And as was mentioned earlier, one of the main reasons we're having this conversation in the first place is the courage of Edward Snowden, who was willing to step forward and tell the truth to the American people. With that in mind, in 1971, Senator Gravel was willing to read the Pentagon Papers into the congressional record because he had immunity as a member of Congress. With that in mind, I would like to ask if either of the members of Congress standing in front of us would be willing to take on a similar role for the next Snowden so that that individual will not have to live in exile for telling the truth to the American people.
Well, I'm happy to. So, Peter, you want to go first, or I'm going to go first?
Well, look, what Snowden revealed is what Snowden revealed is information that you and I were entitled to know. To the extent that there's intelligence information about sources and methods, whether that's at the national security level or the Montpelier Police Department doing an investigation on a domestic assault, we as citizens don't want real-time information about what the police or the NSA is doing, because that does interfere and have adverse consequences. But when it comes to something like the metadata policy, where all of our emails, all of our texts are being scooped up, that should never be done without it being disclosed. That's a policy that affects you and me, and it's your taxpayers doing it. So what do we do about Snowden? On the one hand, he broke the law. On the other hand, the NSA may well have violated the Constitution. You throw the book at one and turn the blind eye to the other. I mean, this situation does not have a direct throw the book at Snowden outcome in any way as fair. Now, a lot of what Snowden revealed is beyond, actually the truth is we don't know all that's out there. We don't know everything that's in there. We don't know the circumstances. So I'm holding my judgment in reserve, but there's got to be something that takes into account the fact that the public interest information was disclosed to people as a result of Snowden's conduct that you and I are entitled to know.
My thoughts are similar to Peter's in this sense. You don't want a situation where everybody who works for the government suddenly wakes up and say, I think I'm going to reveal this information despite any oath or agreement that I made. You're going to have chaos. On the other hand, like Martin Luther King Jr. And others, if you feel strongly enough about something, you break the law. He broke the law. I think clearly that as a nation, we should, as a government, I think that there should be an effort to enter into a plea agreement. I do not want to see. I suspect he would like to return to his country, and I not live in exile, and I would hope that we can do that. So I would hope that charges be lessened. I hope that some type of plea agreement can be reached. And ultimately, at the end of the day, what may happen is that he may be tried by a jury of his peers. And he will lay out the case as to why he did what he did. And we will see what his peers rule. But it may well be that they will say, thank you for what you did, or maybe not. So.